So our next speaker, you saw the little video about her. This is Michelle Whitlock and her beautiful almost sleeping baby Riley. And I'm just gonna let her tell her just truly miraculous story.
Hi everyone. You saw most of it on the video. What you didn't see was that at 26, I thought if I ever wanted to be a mother, I had all the time in the world. It definitely was not on my radar, and I had been newly divorced at that time, about a year, and I had just started dating somebody who lived long distance from me. And then came cervical cancer and being told I had to lose my uterus. And for me, I started with fighting for the principle that if I wanted to have a child someday, I could have a child someday. No cancer, no doctor, no one was going to tell me I couldn't do it if I wanted. I really started this journey not knowing that I wanted this sweet angel, but that I wanted a choice. And the long short version of it is after my cancer reoccurred is when I found her and I froze those embryos. And even at the time of freezing them, I wouldn't have been able to do it if my oncologist called a friend of his that was a reproductive endocrinologist. They had been in medical school together. My doctor had helped him save a patient, and he felt like he owed him. So helping me was a way to repay that other doctor. And so he gave me all the fertility drugs for free. And then I begged my grandmother, and I used my credit cards, and I froze this baby. And then again, being an average, person, I didn't know how I would afford surrogacy. So I told everybody who would listen to me that I needed a surrogate. And somebody finally said, this friend of mine who has a friend who thinks they want to be a surrogate. And I called her, and it was like love at first sight. She was amazing. I would have met her anywhere and been friends. And we worked out a deal, and we implanted 4 embryos. We got a positive pregnancy test. I was elated. And then 8 weeks later, we found out it was a sac, but no baby growing. And I was devastated. And then I wasn't going to stop. So I went back to it, and I didn't want to use an agency because of cost. So there's a site called surromomsonline.com. And I researched. Oh, Alice, will you take her for a minute? So I used surromomsonline.com, and I still did all of the things an agency would do for you with the second surrogate that I had not done with the first surrogate. So I highly recommend that. But I did an MMPI, and I did the financial and criminal background checks and all of those things. And I got really, really lucky that the average rate for a new surrogate who's never done it could be $20,000 to $25,000. She was advertising that, and as we started to talk and I learned more about her situation, she agreed to bring her fee down. So she brought it down to $15,000 base. I paid maternity, and I gave her a $2,000 food allowance, and then I was just really nice to her. If she came over, I took her out to eat. And at the time, her family, she was in nursing school, but they lived off government assistance. She had 3 kids of her own. She had married her high school sweetheart. Neither one of them had ever worked. They were borrowing money to go to school. And they really were just trying to get by with government programs. And so I just tried to be really super nice to her. And in turn, she was implanted with my last embryo of 7. And I was told that day that 1 embryo of the last 3 was no good. 1 was poor quality, and 1 was perfectly shaped cells, but implanted on day 3, it was only 4 cells. So it was very risky, but as you can see, my miracle is here, and I hope that every one of you in this room that wants a little Riley Greer gets that someday. It is the most amazing experience of my life. And Alice, I do a lot of cancer talks, and this is by far the most amazing experience, and I want to thank you. When you first started this morning, I started talking, I was practically in tears. So, I mean, at the end of the day, cancer sucks and we know it, but to find a way to give us back hope for the future and our children and our future, I mean, what an amazing organization and an amazing experience. So, thank you all.